Hi guys, it's Ellen and today I have a new junk journal video to share with you. So in this video I am working with Tincika Designs Good Morning Coffee Lover collection. And I love this collection. It's very vintage and I feel like it's been a little while since I've done a vintage style spread in my journal, so I really wanted to do something that was a little bit more distressed and grungy, and so this collection was perfect for that. So I've got the pages that I'm working on here, and the right hand page is a gorgeous it looks to me like vintage wallpaper, and that's just an old pattern paper, and the left hand side is just some text from a book paper. So I thought this would be perfect to go with the vintage theme, but I wanted to create something for the left hand side, so I thought I would make a pocket. My junk journal is now very full. I'll soon be making a new one, and I'll show a flip through of this one, and I'll share my new one as well, so that'll be coming soon. So I didn't want to add anything really bulky, so I thought a pocket would be perfect because you don't have to have too much dimension on it. So for my pocket I've taken this green pattern paper. Again, it's sort of a vintage floral pattern paper, and I wanted to add some more interest to it, so I've taken a tea stain doily and just collaged that onto the corner of my pocket using some matte gel medium. I've then also added some Tim Holtz washi tape and a tab piece from the Good Morning Coffee Lover collection from Tincika Designs, and I've just sort of layered these up just to make it more interesting rather than just having a plain pattern paper as a pocket. And then to tie in the page all together, I thought I would also add some more of the tea stain doily onto the left hand page. So it just ties it all together. I didn't want to cover up too much of that pattern paper that I've got because I absolutely love it, but I don't know, I always like to add something when I'm working on a page. I don't very often just use the pages as they are. I normally add something. So I'm just collaging that on again with matte gel medium, and I also add some more of the Tim Holtz washi tape. So while all of these pieces are drying, I thought I would work on something to go inside the pocket that I created. So I've taken a scrap of pattern paper, and this just has different pink tones in it, and I'm going to create my own journal card to slip into that pocket. So with the Coffee Lover collection, there's lots of journal cards, and I absolutely love these. I could use these constantly. They are gorgeous. So I knew I wanted to use a few of them, so I've cut out 2 of them to use. And on the back of the journal card is just a pink. It's just pink. There's nothing. There's not really a pattern on there, so I thought I would use some book paper to back that just to make it a bit more interesting. And the pink wasn't really going with the pink on the rest of the page either, so I've taken a really old vintage book paper and just backed the journal card with that, and then I will layer up my 2 journal cards from the printable collection, and here I can add some journaling, which I thought was perfect. So I wanted to ink around the edges. When cutting out printables, I like to ink around all of my edges, because if I have not cut it out perfectly, sometimes you can have a little bit of white showing, and when you're working with a vintage collection, that doesn't really look as good. So I just ink around the edges. I'm using 3 different inks in this in this video, I use Victorian velvet, peeled paint and gathered twigs, and they are all Tim Holtz Distress ink. I think I used gathered twigs on this one. So yeah, I've then layered up my 2 journal cards from the printables and stuck them on the back of the journal card I created, and this just gives me a perfect spot to add some journaling. So this page isn't really of one particular day. Normally when I work in my junk journal, I journal about a certain day, but these are all just random photos that I've got, and they're all food related. They were all taken in lockdown, so I've got a photo of some baking that I did. I've got a photo of our first takeaway, which was amazing. We went so long without a takeaway. And I've also got a photo of a hamper that my mum got sent as well in lockdown. So they all kind of go together, but they're all separate. So I add journaling about each separate picture in this spread, which works well with all of the journal cards in the Tincika Designs collection. So on the front of my journal card, I've taken another piece from the Tincika Designs collection. I've inked around the edges, I've stuck that down, and then I've got these old stickers that are like old crumpled paper. They look like vintage tea-stained papers, and I've just layered that up again, just a bit of interest, and then I've used some Simple Stories black letters to add the word treat, and I just wrote above it lockdown treat. So on the back of the journal card, the photos that I used are from when we made our own Costa. We were really missing Costa in lockdown, so we created our own. So this journal card is like one separate piece. So I hand stitched around the edges of my pocket and my journal card with some green embroidery thread, just to add another texture and some more interest. And then my pocket was really thin. The paper that I used was just paper, it wasn't card. So I've just backed that onto some white card, and I've cut that out, and it just means that my pocket is a lot more sturdy. You can't see the white card or anything. So then I will add my pocket to the left hand page, and that journal card will slip inside there. So I stuck my pocket down. I then decided to add some distress ink all around the edges of both of my pages, and for that I used Victorian velvet, which has sort of a pink tone to it. And then going through and looking at my other photos that I wanted to add to this page. So here is a picture of a cheesecake that I made, and I've stuck that onto a small piece of ephemera from the Tincika Designs printable, just as a layer behind my photo. And then I'm going to stick that above the pocket on the left hand side, and I use another one of those vintage paper stickers just to add the journaling, so just saying like what it is. And again, I ink around the edges with everything with a variation of one of the 3 distress inks that I mentioned before. They all work really nicely together, and a lot of this page was green and pink, which is why I have those 2 colours in there as well. And then the gathered twigs is just a vintage looking colour. So yeah, all these 3 colours together really they work nicely. I was really pleased with that. So I've then got my picture of the hamper that my mum got sent. This was actually from Henny's family. Henny came to Penny spent lockdown with us, with my family. She's just an extension of my family, really. So her family just sent a little thank you hamper to my mum and stepdad for having her, which we thought was absolutely lovely. So yeah, I've added that with another one of the Tincika Designs journaling card, and I've just written where it came from, and then I've got my photo of the first takeaway that we had. We had a curry and it was just incredible. Months and months without a takeaway, and our first one that we had was absolutely delicious, so I had to take a photo and journal about it. You don't realise how much you miss these things until you can no longer have them. So yeah, so I'm adding them to another one of the vintage paper sticker things. I can't remember where I got these. I think they were just from AliExpress. But yeah, and I added some journaling about the curry, and that's my page all finished. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you very much for being here. Bye guys.